serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66.
What are you going to do with a whole weekend for the first time since mid to early August without football? I mean, you get the Senior Bowl, I imagine, but what are you going to do? You're going to rewatch old football? You're going to go out and play it? You're going to go out and enjoy 50-something degree weather and maybe hit a golf ball or play with your kid or take a walk with your dog? Like, what are you well, there's really good basketball. What are you going to do? What's up, boys and girls? Merry Friday, and welcome to the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. How you living?
What's up?
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Yeah, thanks for, not changing the code on the door.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah. Good to be back. Kind of weird.
People get a little antsy when you're not here.
What do you mean?
Start Jones in there. Like, where's Jeff? Where's the captain?
No, nobody does that.
Oh, no, I'm telling you, man.
Nobody does that.
It's like we're heading straight for the iceberg.
Yeah, hardly. That iceberg will split. It'll like part like the red iceberg sea. Kind of weird, man. I'm not gonna lie. This time of year is I don't want to say withdrawals, but certainly a re-strategization of what I do with the weekends. I'm addicted. It's my business. I enjoy it. I Jones on it. I love it. I play it. I have vested interest in it. And when it's not there, I do. Like, what am I? There's no football to watch now. There's good basketball. Lobos.
Yeah,
and
this
Utah State
weekend's
tomorrow
different
night.
though because of
Is it-
Saturday night.
Because the Lobos and Utah State is so big.
Gigantic.
I'll give you that. Yeah. So you've got something really big on Saturday night. We can do Sunday. Pebble Beach. Watch the final of Pebble Beach. You going to start easing into maybe a Sunday round of golf? Where's Scotty Scheffler on the leaderboard?
See it keep dropping hole in ones like it's nothing. Shane Lowry and
How about
Roy
that?
McIlroy
Yeah.
took one yesterday.
Were they both on 7?
It's like they're out there playing video game golf or something.
I haven't seen one yet on the video game golf tour. The what do we call it?
The TGL.
Yeah, that's right. The TGL. Where were the hole in runs? Who he had it on Spyglass at 15 at Spyglass. Okay. Spyglass is tougher, by the way, than Pebble Beach. As far as a golf course. So I guess they play Spyglass. They all play around, and because there's so many people out there in the Pro-Am, and right. So they play Spyglass, and they play. I don't know if they play Spanish Bay also, but of the three of them, when I played them, I thought Spyglass was the toughest one. Pebble was just amazing, right? Pebble was just like, holy bleep, I'm playing Pebble, and then Spanish Bay was in the rain, and I just remember being wet all day and say we're freaking playing. We came, we're not going in. But yeah, you got your golf going on, by the way. It's probably time to reach out to Nick Nee and see what he's got going. Russell Henley's leading the Pebble Beach AT&T Pro-Am. He's at -8. And you got some names up there. Justin Rose is there. Sepp Straka at -7. Rory's at -6. Justin Thomas at -6. Patrick Cantlay at -6. There's a lot of Scotty Scheffler at -5. So a lot of guys that you'll watch. So I'll give it a look this weekend. But nothing like what you got. You got Lobo Talk last night. I hope you heard Lobo Talk last night. JJ had both Richard Pitino and Mike Bradbury. Biggest takes out of Lobo Talk? Because Richard, I heard him, the biggest thing that I heard, and I was going to do this in the pregame show too, as big as it is and as cool as it is, you've hit the midway mark of the season. And you got 2 9-1 teams at the top of the standings playing each other. It's not a trophy hat and t-shirt game, right? Nothing's going to be finalized, win or lose, but it's still pretty damn big.
It's gigantic.
Yeah.
It's quad 1 resume game for the Lobos. Chasing that regular season title, which if you win that, it means that you're probably going to have a couple more quad 1 wins that you can put on that resume. Sitting at 1-1 right now. Like they'll have the opportunity because this is one of the teams that, of course, gets to have the return game in the pit. They haven't played Utah State yet, but man, to get it on the road, it always is a little bit different.
This would be special. And I think when you look at what they do and who they are, to me, there's a number of keys. And I love that you've got an older, composed team, right? The ball's going to be, for the most part, in the hands of a veteran, composed guard in a place where it can rattle you. I think it's important that the Lobos get out to a quick start and don't have to play from behind all day up there, because that place gets off the hook. And that way, maybe you can, I don't think you can take that crowd out, but you can minimize it a bit. I think you've got to obviously not turn the ball over, because they are going to press you and take advantage. And if you can score on their press, meaning if you can break their press and get some baskets in transition, maybe you back them off a little bit. And defensively, they score from everywhere. They score from a lot of different positions. Utah State does. This is going to be really, really good.
It's what you want to see. Big time basketball games, first place on the line. It would be the first time ever the Lobos could get to 10-1 in Mountain West play. Just gigantic, all eyes on it Saturday night, and what a time to have that game.
I haven't seen a spread. I don't think it comes out till tomorrow, right? I'm going to guess they're going to be 3.5 to 4 point underdogs. Does that feel about right to you? I mean, it feels like it's about there. I don't know if they've they got their game notes out. That's good. They're 19-2. Utah State is. They're 9-1. The 905 winning percentage that they've got, tied for second best in Division I basketball this season, behind just Auburn. They're tied with Drake, and just 4 teams have 19 wins. They're really good. You talk about the Lobos start. and how good it is. It's the 4th best start in program history at Utah State. Didn't they just change coaches and dudes? Didn't they lose
Again.
the Mountain West Player of the Year to Washington? Didn't they? It's their 4th best start through 21 games. Falsely is one of 3 players in the country this season to have total 49 steals and 130 rebounds. They take the ball from you. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff around them. So, yep, if you're excited, I want to hear it and I want your thoughts. We'll talk with Kenny Thomas about this. Kick it with Kenny coming up at, what do we do that at 9 o'clock this morning? Oh, we got a special guest this morning, too. I mean, not that Kenny's not special. Don't get me wrong. But also this morning, we will have a conversation with Donovan Dent, the guy who I believe believe. I say I believe because it's
I
not
believe
a done
that.
deal. I believe that we.
Sorry.
I believe that we will. I believe that he will win the Player of the Year in the Mountain West Conference. And halfway through, I think he's your guy. But Donovan Dent's scheduled to be with us coming up at 9:30 this morning. And I always enjoy conversations with him because I think he gets it. I think he understands not just his role, but I feel like he gets the picture. I feel like him staying here told you a lot. I'm really looking forward to the conversation and going into this game. What does he see? Because it's a challenge. This is, JJ, I don't want to disrespect the Pit, but I think these are the 2 hardest places, and Viejas is really hard too. That student section, that crowd, is that become the hardest place to play in the league, or is the Pit? Now, I'm not saying what's the better venue. This place is amazing, so I would tell you that I think the Pit's a better venue, a better atmosphere overall. But just as far as the travel, the road to get up there, all that stuff,
it's a little different because you're not going right into Logan. There's a little bit more involved on it, whether you kind of get close with your charter or you go into Salt Lake City. So it's definitely a little different just getting there. And kind of what you said is, thinking back, I asked Jeff Grammer about that yesterday. He hopped on. We were talking some hoops, and he said the Pit has the best overall atmosphere. Yeah. Utah State actually has the best student section right now.
I think that's probably right.
Even over San Diego State. Yeah. And so he says, you get that vibe, but the overall pop from the Pit still is.
The Pit's still it. Yeah. So does he think the Pit's the hardest place to play?
I didn't ask him that.
Yeah.
The way we kind of talked, we're just talking atmosphere.
How about this? If you're not New Mexico, Utah State's the hardest place to play on the road.
Yeah. Even over Viejas.
I mean, if you are New Mexico, that's what I meant. Yeah. Oh, even over Viejas. Don't you think Viejas is newer, and it doesn't feel like they're as on top of you as this old barn does, right? I mean, this is an old barn, and that student section's right there by your bench.
Yeah.
Right. They're
there's
right
a little
on
more.
you.
There's a little depth on the end zones of Viejas, as opposed to the seating of the spectrum.
All right, we got a lot to do today, man. Looking forward to Kenny. Kenny will be with us at 9. Donovan Dent coming up at 9:30 this morning. We got a lot of football to talk about. We're coming up on a week away from the Super Bowl. All these off-field allegations being thrown around. Justin Tucker's name? What's going on with Matthew Stafford? We had hoops last night. And a former Lobo, Bill. Remember Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt? He had a hell of a day last night at the East-West Shrine game. 505-246-0610 is how to get here. That's the number, 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Adrian is producing over on ProView Networks. You can watch us on Xfinity Channel 26 and on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM. When we come back, will Matthew Stafford stay in L.A.? And what is going on with the opera singing kicker? The allegation said what? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. An AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action.
Hype week, super week coming up. Chiefs, Eagles, fly. Next week, who you got? You still figuring it out? Spread is set. It'll move. The line will continue to move. It is currently at, what is it at? How come I don't see it right here? I'll find you a spread. I will find you a super spread. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Who you got in the Super Bowl, and where you betting? And are you betting on prop bets? And will Kelsey propose to Taylor if they win the game? And well, you know,
that's why we shouldn't even be talking about this game.
It's all about that. What if they
Kansas
don't?
City Chiefs are going to win.
Yeah, that's
gonna be
a done deal, right? Yeah.
like the ending of what year was it? Was it United States and Russia was playing basketball or something and like never let the game in?
Oh, in 72, where they replayed it 3-4 times in
so
overtime.
that's what's gonna
Until
happen.
They won. Yeah.
Until Kansas City wins this game. So what are we really talking about?
So we're done.
Oh yeah.
So you just bet a money line. You don't have to worry about the odds. The Chiefs are 1.5 point favorites, by the way. The over-under is 48.5. That's what you like. Feels like there's going to be points in this game, doesn't it?
Yes.
I mean,
similar to what we saw, even with the defenses. I think the defenses on both these teams are better than they were when they played in the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
But yet, look at last week and look at both games went way over. Both conference championship games went way over. And so I look at it and I'm like, yeah, I agree with you on the defenses. They're both really good. But, man, they give up a lot of plays. You know, Barkley, what was the last game Barkley didn't bust a big one or two? Right? So, if you want prop bets on Justin Tucker, do it at your own accord. Justin Tucker is accused of inappropriate behavior by massage therapists. He denies the claims. This is a guy who's got a squeaky clean reputation. Didn't 60 Minutes do a whole deal on him, right? He's the opera singing kicker and super squeaky clean, maybe the best kicker ever, certainly of this era. He's been accused of inappropriate behavior by 6 different massage therapists at 4 different spas in Baltimore or around that area. Baltimore Banner broke the story. Banned from 2 of the spas, and several massage therapists ended his sessions early or refused to work on him. He's been accused of exposing himself, brushing 2 massage therapists with himself. I mean, you can read it. It's you get it, right? You get it. I guess the paper received a tip earlier this month about his alleged behavior. They interviewed 6 different female massage therapists who offered similar accounts regarding Justin Tucker. Evidently, this took place during his rookie season back in 2012, and it went on through 2016. He released a statement responding to the story. He said the allegations are unequivocally false, despite the desperate tabloid fodder. I cannot be any clearer, quote, he said, or let me quote, I cannot be any clearer. These allegations are false and incredibly hurtful to both me and, more importantly, my family. He put out a big statement. Again, they're disturbing allegations. I'm going to do what I did with Deshaun Watson. I mean, I'm not just going to lose my mind over allegations. Allegations are disturbing. I guess I need a little bit more, man. I guess, it's certainly alarming when 6 different women have the same story. Now, do they know each other? Do they? I don't know. The Baltimore Ravens said they first became aware of the allegations from a reporter. They're looking into it. His attorney, he's got an attorney. Mr. Tucker has never behaved inappropriately during any massage therapy session, and certainly never in the manner described by the Banner's reporting. Any suggestion to the contrary is a fictitious and utterly baseless claim. All right. I mean, it's there now. It's around the Super Bowl. This will be big talk. Enjoy Media Day, Justin Tucker.
Well, he's not in the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, he's not in the Super Bowl. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? Yeah, I don't even know what I was. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. Why did I think he was? Yeah.
Maybe one day Lamar Jackson can get him there.
Yeah.
But who will be the kicker?
Yeah.
Will be the question.
I mean, he's been there. Lamar Jackson's not. Yeah, he has been there. Lamar Jackson, right? Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, I don't know where to go with other than it's disturbing allegations. Allegations are made. If it's true, bad dude, right? And if not, bad women. I need to know more.
Yeah, that's really all you can do in this situation is read the allegations, let it play out, and see what comes of it. Now, do all these guys get the benefit of the doubt? No, but they get the opportunity to have their side heard and let it play out. And
do you wonder why there are 8 to 12-year-old allegations that are just coming out?
That is always on your mind with something like this.
I mean, from 2012 to 2016, but not since. Like, and how many dudes are just going home, man? You know, hopefully I went to the right massage place and didn't go. You know what I mean? Don't think this is like, oh, this never happens. The women spoke to this paper. They said they didn't take their allegations to the police because, but they said they hoped that he would be held accountable for his actions. They said that his behavior was inappropriate and not unintentional. Where does it come from now? They just want money now? Did they want like what do they want? They didn't go to the police. They went to the newspaper. It's disturbing though, man. I'm not gonna lie. The allegations are, but that you make your own decisions. All right, Matthew Stafford said he's going to take his time before he's determining his future with the Rams. NFL media reports he wants to play in 2025. JJ, he's not making a whole lot of money next year. How are the Rams going to do this? He revised his contract before last season. His cap hit's almost $50 million for next year. The Rams can save $27 million by trading him after June 1. But why would the Rams trade him? What are they going to do? How are they going to upgrade? They're not going to.
To me,
trade
this
him.
is
he's done, right?
A non-story.
He's
like
there. He's a Ram.
He's a Ram.
Yeah.
He'll be the quarterback of the Rams for as long as he wants to play. It's just like there was that one moment of, oh, maybe I'm going to retire a couple years ago, but he realized he can still play at a high level. That team is super competitive still. They'll massage the numbers again, and Matthew Stafford's going to be the quarterback of the Rams.
Yeah, I think that's pretty easy, right?
Yes,
and that's where this was going. I don't. Did you have big doubt when he said after the season I'm going to take some time? I watched that dude play. He's made it pretty clear he wants to play. In fact, he was asking for a bigger contract. I
don't have any doubts. I think it's just a normal reaction for a lot of those guys to not want to say anything in the moment after a loss. Just give me a minute, and then we'll be good.
Yeah. All right, we're going to a Super Bowl next week. Officiating's on your mind. I know it is because, well, the Chiefs are there and they get all the calls. I want to talk about that a little bit. When Coach says about it, what a Hall of Fame quarterback who's now a big-time broadcaster says about it. It's not going away. I listened to Rome, whether it was yesterday or the day before, talk about you really think that everybody's involved, everybody's in on the hook, everybody's in on the play, everybody, all the referees, everybody get into it a little bit because I know what it looks like. And when was the last time a call went against the Chiefs? Or what everybody's got to say. I want to know what you got to say, too. Here's the numbers, 505-246-0610. That's the text line and the phone line, 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
In your AM on 95.9 FM and AM 610, Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. All right, so you bet the Chiefs, didn't you? I mean, because they're going to win, right? That's what everybody tells me. Oh, it's rigged. It's the refs. It's, okay, all right. And I get why you say that if you hate the Chiefs. And JJ, tell me how all 12 or 11 refs and replay refs and everybody's in on it and nobody, and it's never, I just want to know the conspiracy theory on it. I appreciate a good conspiracy theory. I'm all about it. I know every call has gone their way. I just want to know how they're like, at what point does this go like the APD, DWI scandal and, somebody cracks?
Something breaks, someone cracks.
Yeah.
I'm just, what I want to know is why Kansas City? Why is it that
Taylor Swift, Patrick Mahomes.
Taylor Swift wasn't there when it started.
See?
But why the NFL decided
this big market.
two different times to do it with the Patriots. And then now has hooked their wagon to Kansas City. I just want to know what that is. Maybe it's because they do have that quarterback, and so they've pinpointed, all right, who the next GOAT is. Thus, they're going to have another mini dynasty, and then maybe Kansas City won't win for 10 years and they'll win 3 in a row later when the refs get back on board. We understand it's an entertainment product, and they're doing what they need to do, but I'm still kind of trying to figure out why it was just those two franchises over the last 25 years.
And the gigantic media market that is Kansas City, because right in the heartland, they're getting the heartland of America. It's a problem. There's officiating issues that you've seen because human beings officiate games and human beings make mistakes. You do, I do, everybody, but never mind. Troy Aikman, former Cowboy quarterback, Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, addressed this, says he's never gotten any blowback from the league. Quote, I know officials have a tough job. So I think that we owe it to the fans that we get it right. And I think that we are at a point in time where we can get it more right. That was my position, and just trying to lean on the NFL and say, hey, we got to fix this. We got to address this in the offseason. That was part of his quote. So he says, are you promoting gambling? People are gambling more than ever before, right? There's a lot at stake, and you got to get it right. There's a lot of money changing hands on these calls. And it's not just about money. It's about integrity. Look, and Rome said this yesterday, and this has been one of my thoughts. I am 99.8764% sure that there is not a scheme, that there is not some underground meetings telling them to make sure the Chiefs get to the Super Bowl and win games. This product makes, as Troy Aikman said, too much money. I just want you to think of the risk. If it comes out that they get credible story, and it's not there, but if it ever came out that there was some scheme that this was rigged, that this was WWE, the whole thing comes crumbling down. Why am I watching anymore? Why are you betting? Why are you playing fantasy football? The whole thing comes crumbling down. Everybody who's eaten stops eating. There's just no way. I know the look. They get every damn call. I get it. And now it could be in a subconscious. It could be. But you really believe, you guys, I mean, I see your face a little bit. Do you believe there's really a meeting at some point suggesting that they maybe make sure we get the Chiefs through to the next round?
There's everything that goes on in this world. I would not be surprised.
I'd be stunned.
However, Kansas City, the numbers, they get more calls. Part of that, too, is guess what? They get to these games. And they don't just get to these games because the refs are allowing them to get to these games. They don't just go 15-2 because they get every single call throughout the regular season. They get the benefit of the flag because they're also playing in these games more than anyone else.
Sean McDermott, Buffalo Bills head coach. And look, I mean, there were 2 calls in that game. One ball hit the ground. They replayed it. It's a catch. One, it clearly looked like their quarterback was across the line to gain on a 4th down. They replayed it. Nope, goes the other way. Quote, Sean McDermott. We went into the game, and one of my messages to the team, and this happens from time to time, is you're not going to get calls. We're not going to get calls. And I just think when you prepare a team, you prepare them ahead of time mentally for this, the way it's going down, and you live with that. That's not the reason we lost. You start looking at that, you lose sight of all the things, all the adjustments you can make as a team, as a person, as a coach, as a player. What have you to improve? Who are we, and how do we do things? So there's going to be some of that, and you have to be able to be above that and play above that, end quote. So he acknowledged it, said it's not the reason we lost, although I'm sure there's some private conversations that go another way. But do you know what's on the line? Like, there's cameras and recordings everywhere, and you really believe there's secret meetings? And the officials are being told, hey, a little bonus in it for you. Shh. We make sure Kansas City gets through. If it's getting tight, make sure they get a call.
Throw that flag, get that holding call in there.
Get a little bit extra for you.
We'll see if Saquon breaks off a big run. I don't think you will, because he'll score a 60-yard touchdown, and they'll look back and be like, holding.
And then it'll be some
57.
bogus holding. Yeah. Some bogus holding. And they're like, oh, come on, Jim. I don't know. You got to let that go, Jim. Is it Fox or who's got the game?
That's Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's game. Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal.
It's very intriguing talk this morning. Hey, before I talk about what you're alluding to, my son texted our text group yesterday, and he said, why don't the Rams and the Lions trade Goff and Stafford for each other again? I thought it was genius. Might as well, right? Everybody saves money, and the Rams maybe turn the corner with Stafford in his home, where he started his career.
Or maybe the Lions finally
Goff.
get one.
That's awesome. Hey, before the season started, when once Belichick and Brady left the league, you lost the villain. I said every great story needs a villain. Well, guess who they manufactured as a villain?
No, they got him.
Who's the villain right now?
No, it's the Chiefs.
That's right.
Yeah.
And now that LeBron is exiting LeBron will probably play another 7 years because right now his career is peak Karl Malone. Yeah. Right now, year 21, they'll have to manufacture a new villain. I actually think it might be Tatum.
What do the villains all have in common, Edward? They all have they all win championships. I mean, pick
they
your
all win
sport.
championships.
Who are the villains in baseball? It's always been the Yankees, right? Why? Because they
the Yankees, the Lakers. Yeah. You go down
Notre
the list.
Dame.
The Cowboys during their era when they were winning.
Duke basketball.
Every great story needs a villain, and there was no villain, and they manufactured a villain. Now we have a villain. Hey, let me preface this by saying the Chiefs have the best coaching staff. They have the best special teams, the best defensive coordinator. I think, I've always thought Josh Allen's the best player in the NFL, but I think Mahomes is amazing and probably the best player in the NFL. And so, yes, but JJ's point is correct. There's more volume, and you're going to see, them get the benefit of the calls. Before the AFC Championship game, I texted our text thread and all my other friends, and I said, I just want to see a clean game and no controversy. I want to see a clean game and no controversy, right? And what have we been talking about for 6 days now? When you talk about, let's play the one-word game. People that hate the Patriots, right, during their 20-year run, if you ask them one word, what do you think they're going to say? They cheated, right? They cheated. People that aren't Patriots fans. When all this unfolds, when people talk about the Kansas City Chiefs and their run, and they're not Chiefs fans, what do you think of the one-word answer to the common fan would be regarding the Kansas City Chiefs? Officiating.
Right? Let's see how this goes. I mean, at some point, there's going to get a call against them. Look, they're not the first team that gets calls. I mean, I'm not inferring that. You know,
right.
I'm a Rams fan, and that call that got them to the Super Bowl years ago against the Saints was egregious. It was horrible.
Yes, it was horrible. But that's a one-off event. We're talking a sequence of events.
Yep.
That it's not the volume of calls.
It's the magnitude.
It's the situational and when they occur and how they swing the
100%.
game. And I think the one caller, the Cowboys fan, I forgot his first name, he was eloquently stated it earlier this week. And I think it's just when the calls occur, it swings the momentum of the game. Now, do I think there was coaching malpractice by the Bills by continuously running the quarterback sneak to the left that had been scouted out? Absolutely. That was egregiously bad. And that's a function of good coaching by the Chiefs and really bad coaching by the Bills. So I think it's a function of everything. But I think when all this unfolds with the greatness of Mahomes, if you ask the common fan that's not a Chiefs fan, give me one word to describe their legacy, it's going to be they benefited from, it's more than one word, officiating. They benefited from officiating. By the way, the whole Tuck thing, the more things like this unravel, the more I think when ESPN canceled the show Playmakers, that show couldn't have been more accurate.
Yeah, but it was redone. What was the other one that HBO did, JJ? What was it called? They basically did it on HBO. The
one with The Rock.
Yeah, they did that. It was based out of Miami, but yeah, they did it down there. All right, man. Have a great weekend.
Guys, enjoy the weekend. Yeah, have fun.
Let me go back on one thing. He said that the league manufactured a villain. I would argue that they manufactured themselves to be the villain. How? By winning. Was there a big uproar before this year that they get every call?
It was simmering because it's similar to what we saw with Tom Brady, a quarterback that they changed the rules for.
The Tuck rule.
Not just Tuck rule, but hitting quarterbacks low. Yeah. After Tom Brady tore his knee up, missed that whole season. That was after the fact when they changed the rules.
What do we make then of the fact that they came out last week and said, we're going to investigate Mahomes a little bit, or look into this? Investigate might not have been the right word, about him enticing these hits, right? Like faking, basically inviting the hits and then getting these calls when he didn't get hit, right? Not going down, not sliding, not going out of bounds, dancing.
Hit the quarterback. Hit the quarterback and get the flag. Do what the Houston Texans defensive or linebacker did.
But the two games ago where they hit each other, didn't even hit him, and they got flagged.
Okay, they would have thrown that flag at any quarterback in that situation.
think you're right.
Any
there.
quarterback.
I think you're right there. Yeah, I think you're right. But he certainly enticed it.
He was sliding.
I think they've got to get away from when a quarterback gets out of the pocket. To me, he's a runner. Now, when he goes down and he slides, he gives himself up. You can't hit him.
But
he's treated differently.
And then the problem with that is, at what point is it the right time to slide? Because the guy could go down, and then you still have human beings that are flying
really fast.
And it could make the decision. Oh, I'm going to go hit the quarterback. The quarterback slides at what he thought is the right time, gets hit, and then it.
And that's where they're playing it, right? The quarterback thinks, they think I'm going to go down. I'm going to try to get an
just eliminate that.
Well, then I'm going to try to get a few extra yards, right? They dance around the sidelines, and then they know they're going to get a flag if they get hit.
That's not that bad.
It happens, though. Well, it happens, and
then hit him.
Yeah, and then get your
hit
flag.
him.
Yeah, and then you get the flag,
and then they'll start thinking twice about it.
Therein lies the other piece of it. If you're shopping for an engagement ring, I got your spot. If you're shopping for a Valentine's gift, I got your spot. If you're shopping for any sort of jewelry, there is one spot, and it is John Thomas Jewelers, the most amazing jewelry store in the state. Only 5-star Google-rated full-service jewelry store in town. Fastest growing jeweler in New Mexico 3 straight years. Best jeweler in Albuquerque, voted by you for 4 straight years, and even the coolest jewelry store by In-Store Magazine. You got to go out of your way to find John Thomas Jewelers, but they will create whatever you want. They've got an on-site custom design center right there. They don't send stuff out of town. They create it right there. I was amazed when I watched it. John showed me a picture. Hey, look, this guy sent me this picture, said, can you make me a piece like this? And then he showed me the final piece. What they do is amazing. And now through Valentine's Day, listen to this. They are going to gift you a pair of lab-grown diamond stud earrings absolutely free to match the amount of your purchase. What does that mean? So you buy a $1,000 necklace. They are going to match you. They're going to give you a $1,000 pair of stud earrings. You buy a $5,000 engagement ring. You get a $5,000 pair of earrings. $500 bracelet, $500 pair of studs. It's going now through Valentine's Day, and I know you're thinking about Valentine's Day. Tomorrow is the 1st of February. What does that mean? It's coming quick, boys and girls. John Thomas Jewelers is your spot. Go visit them at johnthomasjewelers.com and then go by. It's on the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building on Louisiana, 1 block south of Banal, right across the street to the east from Coronado Mall, 2440 Louisiana Northeast, Suite 310, johnthomasjewelers.com.
This report is sponsored by Tom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very...
Best team ever?
It's in the conversation.
Right?
I understand the fatigue of anyone that's good in sports.
I get it too.
Well, we can't give you multiple MVPs. You can't win that much. We don't like you. But the NFL's in a really interesting spot right now because it's what people are saying is missing from the NBA that they don't want to watch it. And that's, rivalries and teams that you want to root against. Well, you have this dynastic team in the NFL, and gets people going. Can't wait to see Kansas City streak stop.
I know it's sacrilege to Patriots fans. But right now, the conversation best dynasty in the NFL ever is what? Is it the old patent? How deep do you go to? You go to the old school Bart Starr Packers, Vince Lombardi's Packers. Do you go to the Steel Curtain? Right? Do you go to where Terry Bradshaw won 4? Do you go to the Patriots and the Belichick Brady Patriots who won 6? Is it the 49ers, Bill Walsh, Montana, and Young? What are the best teams ever?
You almost have to split that Patriots run into 2 different discussions.
Go ahead.
Because of when it happened. Because when they won in, 2002, 2004, 2005. And then the next one was 2015. That's like 2 different dynasties.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you have to split the 49ers into 2? One with Montana, one with Young? Right? I mean, you go back and look at them all, man. It's pretty stunning. I mean, no matter how you look at it, there were great teams. What Kansas City is doing right now. First of all, the fact that it's never been done. We're going on 59 of these, man. We're almost at 60, and nobody's ever won 3 in a row. Now teams have lost 4 in a row, right? Didn't the Vikings and the Bills lose 4 in a row? Well, they lost 4. How many in a row did the Vikings lose? 1, 2. No, they didn't lose 4 in a row. They lost a bunch. Bills did. I don't know. Are they an unlikable team? Like if you don't have a dog in the fight, are the Chiefs unlikable? I get the Belichick was grumpy. He wanted to be unlikable. Brady wasn't super personality driven. He was kind of like a pretty Belichick in a lot of respects, right? Just not as gruff. But they had Gronk and they had. Were they likable? This team's got. What's not to like about Fumblerooski? Right?
Is your head over head with commercials?
Okay.
All the time. They total, what is it? 90 seconds in a broadcast. They might show everyone that's sitting in the super celebrity suite for Kansas City.
Yeah, it bothers them. It bothers them that you see
maybe people are actually done with Jason Kelsey, thus done with Travis Kelsey.
I'm more done with Jason than I am Travis. I'm not gonna lie. I get hit over the head more with Jason than I just don't know. I just don't think he's that unbelievably entertaining that I got to see him everywhere. That's just me.
Well, you don't have to. Good Lord invented remote control.
Yeah, no, that's right. I love that line.
I think it's a sports thing, man. If you win a lot, people don't like you.
Yeah. But is this a particularly unlikable team?
Yeah, that's the narrative that has been painted nationally. It's not just a couple places here or there. Fans are done with it. Fans think it's conspiracy. Fans think they get every call.
Well, they get a lot of calls. They get a lot of calls. I don't think it's a conspiracy. But
Well, yeah, because they're the ones in these games all the time.
Yeah, they are.
Who else are they supposed to throw flags on?
Well, the other team every once in a while would be the answer. I mean, the other whoever it is they're playing. There's
so
another team
you're in. You're saying it's not there. But
What I'm in on is the facts that they have gotten the calls. I don't believe that it's a premeditated conspiracy, that there's a memo or a meeting going around, or they're telling
we need to talk
referees.
about that first down more than the flags. There was like 6 penalties accepted on Kansas City, 5 on Buffalo. What's wrong with
Right, but it was the key calls. And what's crazy to me in this situation, and this is, I understand the fodder. The 2 big calls last week were both reviews, right? And the majority of impartial, and I don't even know what impartial means anymore because everybody's got something on the game, right? But the majority of people that looked at those 2 plays, I've got no one who tells me he didn't cross that line. Josh Allen on the fourth down play, and the other one, the ball hit the ground, and all the stuff that we've seen that is not a catch, the damn ball hit the ground with the man's hands on top of the ball, like the ball. It was
but they ruled it a catch on the field.
I know.
Thus, a catch. Tie goes to receiver. Whether or not that was Amari Cooper that made the catch or Xavier Worthy.
Or nobody, because it hit the ground.
They didn't move when it hit the ground.
It kind of moved a little. Didn't think it moved.
So you're talking yourself into it, man.
I'm talking myself into the fact that they get the calls.
Because it's conspiracy.
I'm not there. See? They can be 2 separate things.
And that's why is we can't. It's going to be impossible to give Kansas City credit because people look at those plays and say, this is not one of the best teams ever.
And they're going to say, look at my rings. Talk all you want. All right, 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Look, Cowboys news. Who's going to run the ball for them? And I want to get back into this Lobo-Utah State game tomorrow because some of the historical numbers going into it, this is, I don't want to say the biggest Mountain West Conference regular season game ever because it's not, but it's a pretty big one. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order
cup of root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff. One scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough. Back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal, to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm.
How big is it tomorrow? It's big, but not the end all, right? It's a big opportunity, but not the be all end all. They're not handing out T-shirts and hats, but it's a big one. What's up, boys and girls, and Merry Friday. It is the final day of January. Is that right? Opening drive, Jeff Sabieta, JJ Buckle. Final day of January? What happened to January, JJ? I think between being sick and traveling, and I lost the whole damn month. Lobos and Utah State tomorrow up in Logan. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimallabq.com and JJ at sportsanimallabq.com. You got ladies tomorrow too, right?
2 p.m. San Diego State.
1:30 pregame show, 2 p.m. tip over right here on The Sports Animal. And then we'll tip off from Logan tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to go up. Rob's off tomorrow. So I'll be with Hunter tomorrow in Logan, Utah at the D. Smith Spectrum. What is it? D. Glenn Smith Spectrum. We'll have that for you at 7 o'clock pregame, 7:30 tip. JJ, second time in Mountain West history, you wrote on here that two teams at 9-1 or better are going to play. And I just found that so hard to believe when I first looked at it. And so I said, all right, that's a big game. I'm not going to sit here and give you a biggest game in the history of the league kind of crap. It's not that. But it's a pretty big deal. You look at how good they are. You look at how good New Mexico is. Lobos are 17-4, 9-1. Aggies are 19-2, 9-1. They're on one of their best starts ever. You're on one of your best starts ever. They've lost only once at home. You know who beat them at home this year, by the way? You know who beat them up there? Team that almost beat San Diego State and San Diego Viejas. UC San Diego beat them 75-73. I mean, the Tritons have, by the way, put together something pretty good in the Big West. They got guys who score. They average 10 threes per game. They'll run with you, right? Lobos are 7th fastest team in the nation on Ken Palm Temple, but this team's not going to back down from running with you. This is a good watch tomorrow night. I think the atmosphere is going to be bonkers up there.
It's going to be electric. It's going to be loud. And I'm putting a little bit more in this game.
Okay.
Just because it's a gigantic opportunity to put yourself on the right side of the bubble. Like the road ones are going to matter. Quad 1 road game. Utah State. San Diego State. And Boise State's still going to have decent numbers when you get to that game. But first place on the line, this is what you want. This is the expectations, the bar that has been set by Richard Pitino and what he has built at UNM. And it's not looking at this game as, okay, we'll just get him back. No, this is what you want as the Lobos. It's all right. Call us the underdog in this one, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Winner get ranked next week? I mean, I'm asking you in a bubble, and you got to look at the bottom of the polls and see who lost. I understand that. But it feels like they do. The winner's got the inside track. It's bigger for Utah State than it is New Mexico, I think, in this regard, because it's a home game and you got to hold home, and Lobos still get them here in 2 weeks in the pit. It's bigger for New Mexico because they just don't have that many quad 1 opportunities, and they need one of these. Utah State does not have that San Jose State loss on their, or New Mexico State loss on their resume. You've got those two. And so for whom is it bigger? Yes is the answer. It's at home for Utah State, so it's really big in that regard. But for the opportunities that New Mexico has to erase some of those blemishes on their resume that you decide. I mean, the answer is yes. It's big for both teams, and that's what makes it so beautiful.
Absolutely, it's Utah State saying the same thing. Hold serve at home, take those steps forward, and New Mexico. And there's a lot of other metrics that really, really like the Lobos. The net one, they're just down there a little bit at 51. This team should be higher up, which is the way it goes. But the opportunities are there. The moment is Saturday night. The opportunities are ahead, and I really like the Lobos going in this game.
Who scores for them? Dent and Nelly are going to score. Where I don't believe that this is one of those. I don't think, and you may tell me I'm wrong, that they can get away like at UNLV really with just two guys. True Washington had 9 in that game too. That they can get away without getting a little bit of a balanced attack.
True CJ and Phillip.
So it's got to be Phillip, right?
You look at it and I say maybe look at 40 points from Denton, Nelly Jr., Joseph.
Okay.
Probably sitting there on their averages, and then can you 8+ from me, those three guys?
Yeah. Did Richard say anything yesterday about Mustafa Amsil's plantar fasciitis and how he is? No.
Just
okay.
Resting it this week and see what happens when you get to the game.
Yeah. All right. 505-246-0610. Lobo fan, how you feeling about this one? Nervous? Excited? Where are you with this? Which one is it? You like the opportunity? Let's look at games in Logan. Utah State has won 8 of the past 9 and 11 of the last 13 up there. Lobos historically are 2 and 18 in Logan, Utah. If I had to ask you, what's the series? Do you know, like this isn't one of those, and I thought they would have played more times, but then you start thinking they were in different leagues for a long time. 48th meeting between these two teams. 48th. Any idea how the series tilts one way or the other, or if it's pretty even?
Oh, and you just said those Logan numbers.
Yeah.
So maybe advantage Utah State?
34-13.
Woo!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Aggies lead the series 34-13. They're 18-2 in Logan. They've won 8 of the past 9 and 11 of the last 13 meetings. Utah State's kind of had their way recently with New Mexico. Well, you know what else they do? They share the ball. Utah State ranks 5th in the country, almost 19 assists per game. Their program record's 18. They're at 18.9. Their assist to turnover ratio is 6th nationally. They don't give it away, and they turn you over. This is going to be a real test, and you're going to have a good feel. It's going to have the feel of a postseason game. It's going to be February 1. It's going to have the feel of a March game. It is.
No question. It is. There are some gigantic college basketball games on Saturday, and this is one of them.
Yeah. All right, you can get in. I love your thoughts, and we're going to kick it with Kenny coming up at 9 o'clock. Kenny Thomas will be here, former Lobo great and longtime NBA veteran, what he thinks of this one. But really curious where you are with this. Hey, Mike, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Happy Friday, Mike. How you living?
Hey, good morning. Just a few thoughts. I was thinking the first one is how do both teams start off, at home? I think some of the games I saw Utah State, it seemed like they both teams that were on the court played tight. And if the Lobos can go in there and play loose and not work, and I think they don't have to win this. They just have to have a good game. I think you just try not to lose home court advantage. And so I think if the Lobos can play loose, just go out there with, hey, let's just go play our game. Now, when we come back to the pit, that's where you got to worry about shooting bad and all that other stuff, just at the beginning of the game. And but I guess my main thought is I think Utah State has their back against the wall, having to win this game more than the Lobos do.
Got it, Mike. Appreciate you. Thanks. So he thinks it's a bigger game for Utah State, and that was what I said first, right? Because it's their game at home. I'll listen to the argument both ways. We've talked about this though. The Lobos have got, what did we say, 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5? I think with Nevada becoming what they are, I think it's 3 out of 5. We said, how many of these do you have to win on the road? In Logan, San Diego, Boise, Vegas. Was Vegas even one of them? Yeah, Vegas was one of them. And Reno, right? Reno, San Diego, Logan, Boise, and Vegas. You've won one of them. We said they got to win 3 out of 5 and hold home court, right? I mean, if they can get this one, this would be gigantic. They got to win in Reno now, don't they? The way Nevada 3-7.
3-7.
Yeah,
there's not a good basketball team.
Yeah, I mean, and you damn near lost them at home, so you got to go up there and win there. Oh, yeah, it's good. All right, you got emails coming in. 505-246-0610 is the text line. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Is today Friday?
Yes, it is.
We get to hoe today, right? Yes. I got the text. Are we going to hoe? Yes, we will. Bradbury sends the Lady Lobos right returning, Jeff, and Juan and Jose, and tells your inconsistent Aztecs, catch us if you can. Dan says basically this is a get right game against San Diego State for the Lady Lobos. That's kind of what I read on that. I'm not sure what he said. That's kind of what I read. They got a tough one tomorrow too.
There are 2 teams that beat UNLV the last 2 years. It's the Lobos and the Aztecs did it last weekend. Not the team you're looking at and saying, "Oh, we're going to get right against San Diego State."
They got to avoid losing 3 in a row, don't they? This is a big game for them tomorrow. When I saw UNLV go down on, what was it,
Saturday, yeah.
Whatever it was,
Saturday,
and I thought, okay, gosh, that means New Mexico's tied for first. Then I saw their score, and they lost at home. No, they've got to get right. What did Bradbury say? I know you had Lobo talk last night. It's the last couple of games have been fourth quarter defensive collapses, right?
It's fourth quarter against Fresno State.
Okay,
where this team, the offense sets the tone for everything. They're not a good defensive team, thus they have to be efficient offensively. And then when they have empty possessions, they struggle to get stops, and then it affects them, and it's snowballed. They're not one. All right, let's go get it back defensively. Let's grind it out. It's just not the style of this team to this point. And you saw they had a 7-point lead at the start of the fourth quarter. Fresno State ties the game and then blitzes them 27-7 in the fourth quarter. Yeah. They had an 11-point lead at halftime in Boise, and they're outscored 28-10 in the third quarter. Like, it's just, if they have empty possessions offensively, it just changes everything they do.
All right. 505-246-0610. I'll get you some of what you have to say. What happened last night in college hoops? We can get there. Boy, you had some great performances last night. Certainly in the SEC, a big one in the Big Ten the Big Ten Pac division. I know they don't have divisions, but UCLA and Oregon was interesting as well. Hey, IPS is out there to help you. International Protective Service. They protect my home, probably your home. If not yours, it's a neighbor's home. And the stores which you shop, you see them everywhere. You see them in your neighborhood. You see them at the stores. It's affordable private security in an environment where, unfortunately, more and more we need affordable private security. IPS will monitor your home. They'll install alarms, cameras. They've got a state-of-the-art facility that monitors those cameras 24/7. Raises all the level of security around your home or business. When you go out of town, they go by a number of times a day. They do exterior checks. They'll pick up the mail, the newspaper, roll the garbage cans to the curb and back. On garbage day, they'll even pick up packages that are left on the curb so you get them when you get home, as opposed to a porch pirate. Question is, who's watching your home when you're not there? You can't be there all the time. Make sure it's the good guys and not the bad guys. You can't prevent all the crime, but if you've got no protection, you are more likely to be a victim. Don't wait to be a victim. IPS's number is 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
The former Lobo, he had 2 touchdowns in the East-West Shrine game. Did you watch? He had on his helmet, he had both Arizona and the Lobo. Like he had a white helmet, had them both on there. Kind of cool. I mean, I think it was kind of cool. He looked good. Bill. You're not a big Bill fan? Bill was pretty good when he was here, man.
He was awesome.
He was pretty good when he was here. What are you going to do without football? Isn't it right about now? Isn't it awesome? Isn't your kid's birthday like? Is it today? I knew it was like right about now. Is he 6?
Yes, he is.
Happy birthday to Austin Buck. What are you doing for the big guy's birthday then? It's got to be a big party this weekend.
Pretty much 3 days worth of party with the friends, party with the family, and going crazy.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, make it all about the kid. It's beautiful. Happy birthday. Yeah, I knew it was right about now. All right, text line 505-246-0610. The idea that the league is rigged for the Chiefs is absurd. If the league were going to be rigged, it would be for Dallas and the New York Jets in the Super Bowl all the time. NFL is not going to rig the league for the Kansas City freaking Chiefs. I agree with you. I don't believe that there's a rig. I know a lot of people think that there is. If there was a meeting in a secret society and extra envelopes being passed around, it will blow up their league. It will, all their cash cows come to it just comes to an end. Todd says more blame on the refs. What do you think about Livy Dunn's statement, Jeff? Remember, she's more famous for her talent off the court than on it. Basically, she said, fill up the seats. Fans want to see big scores regardless of whether girls have earned them or not. By being so critical, the refs are hurting women's gymnastics. It's from Todd. I'm not sure I understand the correlation. I'm not familiar with Livy Dunn's statements, Todd. Are there trends? Do we go in trends? Yes. I've always told you this, and I firmly believe this. Referees, being human beings, get caught up in the action. When the home team in a college basketball game in a great environment is going on a run and they're down by 8 and there's 3 minutes to go and there's turnovers and the place is going nuts, I feel that they sometimes get caught up in it and the call goes the home team's way, and instead of a foul, it's a jump ball, and that's a traveling and you get away with some contact at the rim. I absolutely feel that way. Do I feel it's intentional? Do I feel it's rigged? Do I feel there's a meeting? No, I just feel that they're human beings. Do you ever feel that way? I mean, everybody's trying to make the right call. I always believe they're trying to make the right call.
I absolutely feel that way. I've seen it in person with the refs being influenced by not just a crowd, but by coaches in game moments.
You were telling me the story the other day about the Colorado State coach who was griping about the early first half fouls, right? And then there was not another call on them.
Yeah, there was. So when the Lobos got off to a great start at Colorado State, they had a first quarter lead. About 1:45 left in first quarter, Ryan Williams, the head coach of the Rams, gets a technical foul. Just lost his mind, went berserk. The rest of the first half, Lobos didn't shoot a free throw.
See? I mean, they're human beings, man. At some point, you're like, wow, maybe I really did screw up. That guy lost his bleeping mind. Maybe I did miss that call. All right, I'm gonna let that one go. Yeah. This one's from AC on the Chiefs. Good morning, Jeff. JJ says that they would have called that penalty on any other quarterback when Mahomes got roughing call is false. I'll just bring 2 examples. Darnold and Daniels both get a face mask, but no ref threw a flag. But if it happened to Mahomes, there would have been 4 flags to ensure it would have been called. It's double standard. That's why fans are so upset. The way some media try to protect the NFL is upsetting. Fans have eyes. And we always trust our eye, or we are always told to trust our eyes. The Chiefs are fine as a team. It's the look of preferential treatment is what fans are upset about. So let me give you this.
They missed calls, man.
Yeah, I want you to respond to this. Let me give you this. Michael Jordan got preferential treatment. Kobe Bryant did too. Patrick Mahomes is getting that same treatment. They missed calls, and they missed calls against Darnold and Daniels.
Yeah, that falls so hollow to me to just look at random games that the Chiefs aren't involved in and say, well, see, they're not calling in these games because it's all just rigged in the Chiefs games. So blatantly going to miss face mask calls, which we all see after the fact. Was it one of those Monday Night Football?
Yeah, they missed calls against the Chiefs too, don't they? Which one are you talking about?
Well, he's talking about face mask games in other contests that didn't involve the Chiefs.
Right.
So they're like, oh, obviously I can't. That's not Mahomes, so I'm not going to throw this flag.
If it was Mahomes or Brady, they'd have called it.
Like, no one was acknowledging that wasn't a missed call. Yep. But so are we pointing to every missed penalty call this season and saying, see, this is why Kansas City, it's rigged for it. Because look at all these other missed calls in all these NFL games.
They're on a hell of a run getting calls. I'm not going to lie to you. And AC, I think you're right. You know, your eyes tell you that they're getting more calls. Yeah, they are. I guess
they're also in this game more than anyone else.
Right.
So I'm building the case, right? So they get to this game because of all the calls they get.
Fair.
Right?
Where I'm stopping short is just saying there's a conspiracy, that there's something in the league, that there's a memo, that there's a secret meeting, that there's an extra envelope if you make sure that they get through. And that somehow I've got different crew every week, right? There's a different crew every week. So there's 11 officials on the field and the replay officials. And so what am I, 15?
Dude, the problem is that this is such a narrative that teams are losing before they play Kansas City. The fact that Sean McDermott
said that
is crazy to me.
Well,
and then Houston, you gave up 8 sacks. You had bad special teams play. Nope, but it was the referees. Couldn't beat the referees. Okay.
I would love to know how. I want you to think the logistics. And I know most of you don't really believe that there's some sort of conspiracy, although it might be unspoken or whatever it is you think. I think there's a human error. There's a human tendency. They're really good. They're superstars. They get calls. They do. It's like Shaq. It's like Kobe. It's like, Jordan got all the calls, man. Mike earned it. He got the calls. These guys are getting it. But I want you to tell me how it's going to be. All right, 2 weeks ago, I had a totally different crew. So I had 11 officials, a backup official, a replay official. So let's say there's, 15 to 17 individuals who were in on it. And then the next week, I get another different crew. So I got another 17. I'm up to 34 individuals. And now the Super Bowl, and nothing's going to leak. And there's no memo. There's no meeting. We really sat around and had the secret society and said, make sure that the Chiefs get in. Look, man, I think they egregious at times. Are they getting all the calls? Hell yeah, they are. I got both of those calls. You thought one, the first down call was horrible. Josh Allen made a first down. Was that pivotal? Absolutely. Did it swing the game? I believe it did. But I guess I'm just stopping short.
Well, then
thinking
we need to figure out the spotting of a football in a pile where the majority of the time you don't see it, but those dudes run in there and spot the football.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes. Yes. Mike, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Mike.
Hey, good morning, man. Welcome back.
Thanks.
I want to, this whole thing about the Chiefs, it's like nothing is super blatant. And this is the thing about, just the eye test.
Right.
Like when you watch Wemby playing basketball and the eye test and you see what's going on, you're like, man, this dude, I never seen nobody like this. This dude can do it all. This guy, the eye test, right? So when you're watching the Chiefs play, it's just such an ugly thing with the refs don't go out and stop the game and and just hand the trophy to the Chiefs. And I'm not a conspiracy theory guy either. But I'm saying, man, just constant calls, just little calls. And no, they're not giving them touchdowns, but they're giving them they get these little calls that, just irk the viewer. And also, Michael Jordan did not get all the calls.
He earned by the end of his career, he earned a lot of calls, man.
He earned a lot of calls, but the dude was getting hammered. Jordan was getting murdered in the lane. Mahomes is overly protected. That's something that people really don't like, especially when you see no touch in Mahomes. And I just think that there is something, and Chiefs fatigue is certainly real. And no, I'm not a conspiracy blame the refs kind of guy, but the refs, damn, man, they ain't helping themselves. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, no, look, I'm kind of with him. I think he's saying what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree with you. They get. I've asked this all week. Give me an instance where a call went against them. I don't have one. Like a play. Yeah, there's been flags against them, and you're like, oh, dude, held him. Look at him. He's pulling his shirt. Yeah. But what
point do you give him credit for being in those situations 7 straight times?
At the beginning. I absolutely give him the point for being there.
So, of course, it might feel like they get more calls because you're watching the Kansas City Chiefs from start to finish in the AFC Championship game as opposed to in Week 7 versus the Carolina Panthers.
Truth. Granted. I 100% agree with you.
And the Michael Jordan guy, they played football on the basketball court in the 80s. Of course, they weren't calling fouls.
Different game. Yeah, it was a little more physical. It was about as physical as football is now, probably, back in the day.
Probably more physical.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I give you that. They're there in these positions. To me, it's inarguable.
To me, you can acknowledge that they've gotten more calls. I can understand. It's because they win the games to get to this stage, and thus, when it's Kansas City versus one opponent, a different opponent, it's going to feel like Kansas City gets all the calls. But to me, more so than anything, this is just people upset that a team keeps winning.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
And they're like, well, the only reason that they keep doing this is because the NFL's rigged.
To your point. Now, I don't know what would have happened, okay, if Dalton Kincaid catches that ball. Did the referees drop the ball? No. If Dalton Kincaid catches the ball, the Bills get a first down.
Oh,
right?
Ben, they would have been scrambling. They would have been like, oh,
what
legal man downfield.
What were they going to do?
Legal man downfield.
Right. How are they going to keep the Bills out of the end zone or kick a field goal? Or maybe they would add a weighted coin.
This lines up. The more I think about this, the more I do believe it.
Yeah.
Because, by the way, the Chiefs got blued out in a Super Bowl. Do you recall that? They didn't waltz in and win out. Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Slice and dice.
Well, but that was Tom Brady.
Exactly.
That was
so now we can connect the dots where I don't know how the NFL knew it, but this 6th round pick out of Michigan who won a Super Bowl, they're like, you know what?
That's our goal.
We're going to rig
ticket.
the league for this guy for the next 20 years.
That's our goal.
And then they saw how good Patrick Mahomes is and go, all right, we're going to make sure that we have our one Super Bowl moment. Once Tom Brady left New England, those guys could play in a Super Bowl. They get it. And they gave the game to Tampa Bay because they told Kansas City to hold out all your offensive linemen. Act like you get hurt. Don't play that game. And so he had no protection. Yeah. Tampa Bay wins, Tom Brady gets it, and then they can hand the league over to Patrick Mahomes.
Now you got to see, JJ figured it out for you on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Do you know your number? No, not your credit score number, not your sleep.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction
get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
Straight my point on the Chiefs now being the villain. I think Mahomes went from America's darling to very unlikable to most NFL fans in like 2 years. People are also sick of Kelsey, Swift, the officials, everything. They're sick of it. And the recipient of this vitriol is Patrick Mahomes, and now he's very unlikable. I'm not saying it's fair, but it's very evident. It's not that evident to me. Is Patrick Mahomes unlikable to most people?
Dude, he is right there. It's Patrick Mahomes, it's the Chiefs, it's Kelsey, it's Swift.
All right, that may have completely missed me. I mean, he's still in my commercials.
Overly protected. The stuff that you were talking about with the running quarterbacks, he's become
the face
poster
of that.
child for that.
Yeah.
And people are they're done with everything Kansas City.
Are they not buying Allstate anymore, or State Farm, or whatever the hell is State Farm?
So after everything that's gone on, it's just another thing to keep you away from.
They backed out of State Farm? Not going to Taylor Swift shows? I mean, she's still selling out all over the world, right?
That has nothing to do with who's commenting on social media and who's listening to this show.
So Mahomes, is Mahomes more unlikable than Brady was? I mean, Mahomes is still like That's okay.
And,
That
and
missed
with
me.
and it's everything. It's those two gigantic calls that everyone's looking at, going, oh, "How do you miss that?" Whether the Xavier Worthy catch that people said it shouldn't have been a catch, or at least should have been an interception, first down call.
Yep.
And that highlights it. And then it's the flags and quarterbacks. But I'm like, what quarterback doesn't get protected in that league right now?
They all do. Well, I mean, Daniel Jones may not when he was playing very much. I mean, some do get more protected than others. You'll admit that, right? Some do get more. It's just like some superstars in basketball get more calls than other superstars.
They throw flags on every contact to the quarterback.
Even when
every
there's not.
contact,
Even when there's not
in that league.
Yeah. Even when there's not, and I think that's what people are losing their mind over on that one particular call in the week prior.
Who do you think averages the most roughing the passer penalties
drawn
over the last 10 years? Yes,
drawn.
Yeah.
It's obviously not going to be Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to say over the last 10 years, Aaron Rodgers.
Even longer than that. It's Josh Allen.
Okay. Superstar, but not a Chiefs
I'm just
superstar.
saying it's,
yeah.
So the way I've explained it, and it probably doesn't come across clear, I don't think that Kansas City gets to these situations just because they get all the calls.
Yep.
But once they're in these highlighted situations, because they've been playing a gigantic amount of playoff games the last 7 years, that's 7 straight AFC Championship games, it just feels like they get every call.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. It's interesting though. I guess I got lost on that Mahomes is unlikable. I asked the question earlier: are the Chiefs unlikable? So this says, so the more games you win, the more calls you get? Question mark.
It's gonna feel like you get more calls because we're watching an overload of Kansas City in the playoffs, and people will point out, look, the numbers. Kansas City's only been called for four holding penalties. Their opponents have been called for 8.
Yeah, I'm not even worried about the holding. I'm talking about the controversial calls.
What in this run?
Yeah.
Aside from that Buffalo game,
yeah.
What controversial calls do we feel that?
Wasn't there a PI call in the Texans game? I'm trying to think back to the Texans, the first round, the first game they played. Because I asked a somewhat, I don't know if it's a similar question. Give me a call that's gone against them that you went, whoa. That a close call, a close decision, a replay decision, a holding call that should have been a holding, defensive holding in a key moment. Give me one that's gone against them, and you can't find it. And that's where people kind of go, see? That's all. I don't believe there's a conspiracy.
I don't buy that at all, man. Yeah. We don't remember penalties in any games.
Kind of do.
What else?
I guess those weren't penalty calls. See, but they don't have to be just penalty calls.
Okay, I'm not denying the 2 gigantic replay situations in the Buffalo game.
No.
What else?
There was something in the Houston game.
Houston missing a field goal and getting a kick blocked?
Yeah, that's actually what it was. I don't know. All right, keep them coming. 505-246-0610. When we get back, man, oh man, can college football, can college athletics become a career for you? Like not being a coach, like just playing college athletics till you're, 30. Diego Pavia has a lawsuit. There's another one that's going to hit. Dude wants to play for quite some time, and it might work. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm.
The Eagles, the holding call that essentially ended the game was egregiously bad. There you go. Take it all the way back to the first one. It's going to be bad calls, man.
Yeah.
Patriots ever get a call go for
them?
them?
Then I'm saying, all right, then run it down for your Patriots, man. Like, there's missed calls in big spots. I'm not denying that, but just it's gotten to the point where you want to root against people in sports. I get that. But even when you don't like something, usually in sports, you're like, man, this is crazy. People aren't even with that with Kansas City. They're like, this is just all fake. And they're just getting handed everything. Like, it's not supposed to happen. Like, how good they are has people absolutely off their rocker. Because they're like, you can't do this in the NFL. Of course it's rigged. I'm supposed to get to 3 straight Super Bowls in this league nowadays.
It's got to be rigged, isn't it? All right, 505-246-0610. I want to hit you with this. You're familiar with Diego Pavia, the Volcano Vista grad, New Mexico State, former NIMI star, who's at Vanderbilt. You're aware that the NCAA in December had a decision after a federal judge granted an injunction to Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia. The NCAA on December 23rd approved a blanket waiver granting an additional year of eligibility to former junior college transfers. Okay? So if you played in junior college and then you come up to college, it used to be those 2 years counted, you get an extra year. You get 1 year. There's a new lawsuit against the NCAA, and I will probably butcher the young man's name. Player at Wisconsin, his name is Nizier Forquarian, I believe. Forquarian. Nizier Forquarian. He is suing the NCAA over his eligibility clock because he played 2 seasons at Division II Grand Valley State and doesn't believe that those should count. He states in his lawsuit that the NCAA is denying him an opportunity to profit from NIL by failing to award him additional eligibility at Wisconsin. The NCAA denied his request for a waiver for additional eligibility yesterday. And attorneys have taken the lawsuit. There's a lot to this. There was the death of his father in there. There was COVID in there. There was a lot of different things in here that the NCAA was asked to take into consideration. JJ, should Division II now not count? Should you get a blank? I mean, do you think that this is where it's going? Because it's always been you get 5 years to play 4 with a red shirt. Now, I don't even, I mean, you're going to have dudes playing in their 30s.
Now it's almost like if you play at any other level than Division I, it's not going to count. So you could do your 2 years at JUCO,
yep,
and then have 4 left at Division I, or heck, play 3 years FCS football and then go play 4 years FBS football.
The NCAA is saying that an extra year of eligibility for next year would be for athletes who previously competed in non-NCAA schools for more than 1 year and otherwise would have exhausted their eligibility. Well, NCAA Division II is NCAA. Grand Valley State, by rule, may pay a player. Now, by practicality, can they pay players? That's a whole nother story. But by rule, they are absolutely welcome to participate in the NIL procedures. I'm going to guess he's going to win, JJ. You know why I guess that? Because the NCAA is losing it every.
They lose
every point.
everything in court.
I mean, don't they?
At this point, I don't even know if they pay lawyers to show up. They're just like, all right, you go sit in court.
Go to a law school. Hey, you want to be a lawyer? Right, go battle this one for us. We'll give you a college credit. Yeah.
Yes.
Seriously.
Sounds perfect.
They go over to Butler and say, hey, give me a kid who's the top of your class pre-law. Let's see if he can go argue this case for us. I look, man, I'm all for whoever it is, get yours. You go out and get your money, man. Get yours. I just don't think college football was intended to be a 6, 7, 8 year endeavor to go make money. And that's kind of what it's becoming, right? And you can argue if I go to a JUCO that I don't have my opportunity. I understand the arguments. I'll ask you this: is it taking away opportunities from younger kids to play, or should they just go the same course?
Just go the same route.
Go battle it out.
Everyone should be a doctor by the time they get on playing.
I mean, with all this damn education, all the scholarships you're getting, yeah, everybody should have at least a master's degree by the time they get out. Just another one for you to watch. All right, 5:05. This guy says boring. Let me know when you're talking about Lobos versus Utah State. Why don't you come in and produce the show? I guess it should all be just Lobos Utah State. It will be that coming up next.
Yeah, I don't know about the 9 o'clock hour with Kenny Thomas, Donovan Dent.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy? Whatever you want. You produce the show. Coming up next, Kenny Thomas. Lobos and Utah State. This is gigantic. Big one coming up at the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum Forum Arena Coliseum in Logan, Utah. Former Lobo Kenny Thomas will be in next. We'll talk to him on the opening drive on 95.9 FM. Donovan Dent at 9:30. Lobo guard, best player in the league. Looking forward to talking to Donovan Dent at 9:30. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros all your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who
Now it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Oh, it's Barrella's Friday morning, so Kenny will get here when he gets here. Might bring you a burrito, might not. Edward said the AFC Championship game against the Bengals in a tied game where the Bengals stopped them on 3rd and long. The official did not count the play and gave them another play. I do remember this. On which another flag was thrown, resulting in a first down, which were the game-winning points. Wait, there's more. He's going to send me more.
I got it.
Yeah, no, he's going to write the book
do the Patriots after this.
Yeah.
Do the Patriots.
He's not going to do that exercise for you. Yeah, he's not going to do that one for you. He's just doing he's on the Chiefs. He's writing the book on the Chiefs, not the Patriots.
Dude, next week's going to suck.
Why?
I'm trying to talk about the Super Bowl and be like, break down the matchups. And it was like, no one's any good. It's rigged.
So it's games
get
over.
all the calls.
Yeah. They do. They get a lot of calls, dude. I just don't think it's rigged. That's all. Both can be true to me. But look, here's the deal. He's vested in this. He's a Patriots fan. If they win, there's an argument that the Patriots are better than the Chiefs are better than the Patriots dynasty because they've won 3 in a row. But it's got to be because it's rigged and Roger Goodell's got all the referees being quiet and it's never going to get out. Until it does, until like Faith Iguanu over at Channel 7 or somebody breaks the story on the APD. DWI, it'd be the same kind of thing.
I'm just not like I expect them to feel like they get more calls just because they're in those games. So people are saying they're in those games because they get the calls, and it's a circle that's just never gonna end.
Yeah. All right. We are kicking it with Kenny, the former Lobo great. Great. Define. I guess he was great. He was pretty. Well, he was all right. I mean, he was pretty good. Look, his eyes just got big. Kenny Thomas is here, the former Lobo great, All-America, 11 years NBA,
Lobo great.
All-time Lobo great.
Not former, he's still great.
Yeah, once you're great, you're great, right?
Hey, my eyes stay big.
Do they?
Yeah, you know me, man.
Sometimes you get a little sleepy.
Yeah, when I have to do the show after a game, that's going to be
That'll be tomorrow night, buddy.
12.
That'll be tomorrow night. What's up, Kenny Thomas? How you living?
I'm good, my guys. Thanks for the compliment, JJ. I appreciate you, man. I'm good. Hey, everybody over at Barrella's.
How was Barrella's?
Hello.
Yeah, Jerry, all right?
What's up? Yeah,
I need to go see Jerry, man.
Yeah. You're busy, man.
Should I go to lunch? I know, man.
You're busy.
Yeah. Got back in town yesterday. We're going to head up to Logan today. Should be fun up there, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've never been there.
You never played there. They were not in your league, I know.
No, it was Utah and BYU.
They were way out of your league, man.
Yeah, right. We would have beat the shit out of them.
Easy.
Beep, beep.
I gotta hit that. I just hit that. I got the red button. I got it. Careful, man. Where are you? What's wrong with you? Ain't Barrella's no more.
KOB.
What are you doing?
I was down there in Novato, man. My bad.
All right. Hey, JJ said something on here. Second time in Mountain West history, 2 9-1 teams or better will play. I would have thought more than that, but I mean, halfway through the season, through the league season, 2 teams 9-1 going up there. I don't know who. We had this conversation earlier. Who's it bigger for? The Lobos because they got an opportunity to put a quad 1 win and erase one of those San Jose State, New Mexico State losses, or Utah State because they're playing at home and they got a home court. My answer was, it's big for both of them. This is a huge game. Now, they're not handing out T-shirts and trophies tomorrow, but it's still a big game.
It's huge. Obviously, Utah State has been dominating from a different perspective. And you got teams like, what was it, Air Force? So who just went in there against Utah State and almost beat them at home?
Well, UNLV beat them on the road.
It was UNLV played them to 5-point game.
That's what it is. Yes, that's my boy JJ. Yeah, it was a close game.
6, 7.
At Utah State. And then you think about the way the Lobos came out and played against UNLV, right? So you can tell the league is better in some retrospects when it comes to teams that are not supposed to win, obviously, right? But it's big for both of them. Obviously, the Lobos are up a half a game, I think,
No,
right?
they're
in
even. They're both
conference? Are
even.
they
They're both
even?
9-1. They're both 9-1.
Ooh, so it goes back to what you said. Remember, like, how many teams are actually in right now that we think that
Maybe
can
3.
get bids?
Maybe 3.
So that's Utah State, Lobos, and who's the third?
San Diego State's right on the bubble, just like the Lobos are.
Yeah,
Lobos aren't
and-
any more secure in than San Diego State is.
I
Right
totally agree. And then you got Colorado State that's playing some pretty
now.
good
And
ball
you get
right
that,
now.
and you got to deal with them next week.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the schedule's not going to get any lighter, and you still got to go on the road. So it's going to be an interesting situation what happens tomorrow. I just want them to be able to come out and play with the energy and tenacity that they have been.
There'll be energy there. There'll be plenty of energy.
Yeah, right. Because if who's going to be that person that steps up when there's times where Dan is not able to do what he does? Because I anticipate a zone a lot, and I think a 3-2 or 1-3-1 is going to be on the radar.
Donovan Dent's going to be with us coming up at 9:30. We'll have a conversation with him, and I'm looking forward to having that conversation with the reigning Mountain West Player of the Week. Kenny Thomas is in studio with us.
How much do you hear in an environment that it is crazy, it's packed, they're going at you, they're going to be saying things, and Rich Pitino said it last night, it's like, hey, it's just words. Like, they don't have weapons on you, but I guess it's different for each player if that's something that gets you motivated or if that's something you need to kind of focus on zoning out.
I mean, people are going to say what they're going to say, man. They're trying to get under your skin. You're never going to see those people again. So the way that I would come out when I heard inappropriate things that were said to me, trust me, I heard it all. You got to play better ball. This is where you shut them up. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, hey, you know how many times I looked over at somebody that was calling me a name and been like, hey, look at the score. We just won. Or hey, did I just dunk that ball? Are you kidding me? You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. I feel like they need to totally feed off of each other. If they're not feeding off of each other, which starts on the defensive end, it's going to be a different kind of struggle on the offensive end because they get a little, I don't want to say selfish, but there's shots to where I feel like that should not be taken, but that's just me. Especially when you're going on the road. Come on, Jeff, you know this. You go on the road. You cannot settle for threes. You can't.
Especially this team.
No.
I think something that, and JJ, what Utah State does too is they pressure you.
Yep.
They're disciplined. They hit threes. They're averaging over 10 threes a game. So you can't waste possessions. And I think having a veteran guard like they do in Donovan Dent, and so he's got to stay out of foul trouble, is essential. I think there's a couple of things here. His composure against the full court pressure is going to be really, really key.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they can get down deep in this one and let that crowd get going tomorrow night.
Oh, they without a doubt. The way that I saw Utah State dominate Nevada, it was insane because I felt like they beat them by like 15, 20 points, right? It was really, really embarrassing. But
it was 21. Yeah.
They cannot get down. That's not an option. You can't get down more than 10 points and dig out a hole because I feel like the Lobos are great. I feel like they're a good offensive team, but I feel like they're better when the ball's moving and it's shots that are coming with ease opposed to forcing shots.
That's, in this one, because they're going to have to shoot it a little bit with the amount of zone that they're going to see. But when you're watching the game, what do you feel is a forced shot versus, someone playing outside the offense versus them trying to run an offense?
Well, just to address your first point, like you talk about Utah State's going to go zone. I totally agree. But, and then you said they're going to have to shoot threes. You don't necessarily have to settle for a three in a zone. Obviously, you get into their interior and break down and collapse their offense. If there's nothing there in the interior, what do? You pass the ball out and work the ball out. Those are shots that I want them to, those are the shots that I want them to be able to take. And you got to realize the person that's actually dribbling the ball and getting into the paint, you might not get the shot. That's the whole point of of playing unselfish basketball.
Offensively, they screen. They're really good. They love those ball screens, those flare screens, those pin downs on offense. They're and again, everybody's got a plan until you get hit in the face, and you got to find a way to take them out of this. This is where I think Lobo defense is going to be big. JJ and Kenny, I think they're so disciplined offensively that, I mean, you talk about what they do defensively and what you take care of the ball, all those things. Yeah, this game for me is one for New Mexico on the defensive side.
Oh yeah, and it's going to come down to obviously second chance points, but the one that's not in the box scores, which is what I talk about a lot, is 50-50 balls, right? Playing in the passing lanes, being that determined Lobo team that's getting into the guys. Like you got True that guarded Jackson, Thomas Jr. For UNLV, right? To where he was getting up in him and making him feel uncomfortable. Those things are going to happen because Utah State's going to do the same thing to Donnie and the backcourt, I feel like. So, man, it's one of those games to where they're just going to have to be patient, move the ball, and share the ball. I can live with that, especially if there's shots that's not being forced. I can live with that like I'm the coach, right?
Yeah, no, well, but
well, I think that's
very invested.
Really, you hope that Mustafa Amzil is able to go, because you're talking about against the zone. I think you play a high-low game with Mustafa and Nelly to break it down with some dribble penetration from Dent. Like, that foot's going to be huge.
You bring up a great point, man. I feel like Amzil, we'll see, right? But I feel like Flip is going to have to be that guy that's going to get in the interior, and that can be that high post that can break down the zone, because he can make good decisions, and he has been making good decisions. And he's long. And then since he's in the paint, it gives him opportunities to rebound. He's going to, if Amzil can't go, Flip is going to have to rebound the ball. He's going to have to play on both ends of the floor. He's going to be that guy. Flip can be that guy that can come out and actually determine how the flow of this game is going to go, I think, especially if Amzil doesn't play. And Atiki, when he gets minutes, just come in and rebound and play some ball. But we can't X out Nelly. I feel like Nelly's been playing some good ball. I feel like they should start going inside first tomorrow.
Well, I think that's a big piece of this. How do you like the way he matches up with their bigs?
I love it.
He's the best big in this league.
Oh, without a doubt. I feel like it's one of those things to where it's going to go both ways, but you got to give Nelly opportunities if you want him to be productive on both sides. Trust me, being a big, if I didn't get the ball out, I would get to the point to where I'm upset. And then do I want to do other things for a course of a period? Probably not. But I can feel like Nelly can come in and really impact this game.
On the screen, by the way, you can say thank you to Adrian. It says our guest is Legend Kenny Thomas. That's your full name on the thing. Legend Kenny Thomas.
Thank you, Adrian. I appreciate you, man.
We just call him LKT.
Blessed KT.
Yeah, he's good. All right, we'll come back. We'll talk more about this. Get a little NBA stuff in there because the trade deadline's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Lobos tomorrow. Big win against Utah State. Again, it's not a make or break, but boy, it's a resume building opportunity. It's the opening drive. Kenny Thomas is in studio with JJ Buck and me. My name is Jeff Symbieta. Thank you for being with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call
Utah State tomorrow in beautiful Cache Valley. 7:30 tip, 7 o'clock pregame over on News Radio KKOB. Make sure you listen to Lady Lobos tomorrow. JJ will have the call. Lobos in San Diego State, 1:30 pregame, 2 o'clock tip out at the pit. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, Kenny Thomas is in town. They're in town, in studio. Do you ever listen to this stuff? Like you're a player on a team. And do you care that Utah State has won 8 of the last 9 and 11 of the last 13. Lobos are 18-2 in Logan. Do you care about any of that crap? If you're a player, if I'm playing,
like,
playing in this game,
this
do you
game
care
tomorrow?
about what's happened in the past between these two teams?
No, I'm trying to go win the game right now.
Yeah, you don't care. All that's noise, right?
Yeah, and then if we played before, right?
Yeah.
Like, did they beat us?
Yeah, that's what I want.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah.
And this is the first time they're meeting, so yeah.
All right. Aggies are 11-1 at home this year. They've won 39 of their last 43 up in that place. It's good. Do you like environments like that and the hostile? I know we've talked about this a little bit. To me, one of the biggest things is and Richard says this, you got to get old and stay old. It didn't used to be that way, right? It used to be you got to get young.
Yeah.
The fact that my two best players, if I'm Richard Pitino or Donovan Denton, Ellie Jr. Joseph, pretty composed, I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah.
And I've got C.J. Nolan, who's a fifth-year guy coming off the bench. Yeah, I got some young guys, and if Cade Dotson's got to play, whether it's foul trouble or whatever, am I concerned he's got to grow up quickly? Yeah, a little bit. But in a place like that, I love that I have veteran leadership.
Yeah, I mean, this is where I brought up Atiki I feel like he's the guy that can come in and change the game if he gets about 5 or 10 minutes, especially being able to protect the basket and rebounding, right? And finishing around the basket. When you have a guy like Dent that just came off of a 30-point game and he's playing with so much great energy right now, and I feel like he's starting to figure out, hey, I need to take these games over. I don't care if I'm being double-teamed or triple-teamed, right? I feel like he's a magician with the ball. Dent is a guy that I feel like can come out and set the tone, especially when it comes from behind the perimeter, because if he gets going from behind the perimeter, it's going to be a very interesting game because he's going to be able to bring two totally different aspects. Obviously, with him coming downhill, he's very dominant. And then I feel like it's going to open up opportunities for Tiki, too. I mean, not Tiki, for Nelly.
All right, 505-246-0610. If you get a question for Kenny Thomas, if you want to get him, you can jump in as well. All right, NBA trade deadline.
Man,
it's coming quick. There's Laker talk. There's Jimmy Butler stuff. There's what do you think? I mean, I don't know who you've been talking to, what you're listening to.
Yeah.
Lakers going to
De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox of the Lakers.
You read my mind.
Is that what's going to happen here?
Man, you got De'Aaron Fox that's looking at the Lakers. Houston, he's from Houston. There's even San Antonio out there. De'Aaron Fox obviously hasn't signed an extension. It's interesting to me because Mike Brown got fired, who's my boy, who's a great coach. And then they went on a run. I feel like Doug Christie, he's doing a great job, right? But they've dropped their last couple games. And the last one that they just lost last night, I forgot who they just played. I just saw that game. But it was one of those ones to where I think they're on an 0-3 loss as far as losing streak right now. But Houston's playing great, man. Jimmy Butler, I don't like the way he's handled that situation. You're making like $50 million. Go play and be quiet, bro.
Does somebody want him? I mean, is he still Jimmy Butler? Is he still Jimmy Buckets in the playoffs? You think he still is?
Yeah, he is. I feel like he is, but the way that he's handling the situation over in Miami is like, why would a team give up so much, which they would have to based off of how much he makes, to where they're giving up pieces that might be a part of their future and they don't know what they're going to get back from Jimmy. Don't you think, JJ?
Yeah, it's definitely tanked the value for Jimmy Butler, and there's going to be teams that are going to try to get him at really as cheap as possible, just throw contracts in there to match it without having to give up a lot of good assets. And, that one's just a frustrating one because Jimmy Butler has been so good in Miami.
Yeah.
And just to get to this point, it's such a bad look for a dude that was praised for grinding and sticking it out in Miami, getting to the NBA Finals. Now, here you are at the end, and see where he goes.
Yeah, right.
And then you already have the stories, too, of like Golden State's like, well, we might not want that on our roster.
Exactly.
So they're taking themselves out.
Exactly. And this is a guy that's making 50 next year. He's going to make about 20, 25 probably.
How do you live on that?
Man, it's unbelievable, especially all the money that he has.
How can you live on that?
See, but his thing is, I got money, I'm me, and I'm going to act a certain way.
I see it.
Come on, man. Yeah. I don't think that's fair for a guy making $50 million, man.
What do you guys think about Adam Silver changing the game from 12-minute quarters to 10-minute quarters? I mean, why? So that's 8 less minutes a night.
I don't think it matters. You should just leave it alone.
I think you should leave it alone,
leave
too.
It alone.
They want to speed up the game, JJ. This is the whole pitch clock. Major League Baseball's ratings went up because the game time dropped.
The NBA is in a tough spot right now because you have to be proactive and think about the product, the game. People hate the style of play.
Yeah.
Even though I think some of it, honestly, is people don't understand how good they are offensively in that league.
That's fair.
So they just think that no one plays defense and that all they do is jack up threes. Yes, the numbers are what they are when it comes to 3-point shooting. I think that was more Adam Silver than anything real because that's just a FIBA thing. Like everyone else plays 40 minutes.
I'm
plays
like
48 minutes.
Yeah, I'm like, take the shot clock down. Lower the shot clock.
To what?
I don't know. But you come on, 2 minutes. People are paying premium prices. They want the whole experience, right? Like you can't shorten the time. I don't think.
Think about the records that won't fall. I mean,
oh yeah, that's a whole nother
think
thing.
of it. I mean, so instead of averaging, I'm looking at last night. The winning team scored 134, 138, 120, and 119. Now you're at about 98, 100, 108.
Yeah,
maybe that's what people want.
Maybe.
They sure as heck don't like the offense that's being played in the NBA right now.
Yeah, think about the shift, right? Like when Jordan and them played, it was like in the 80s, 90s, right? Because it was a brutal game. When I came in, okay, it got a little bit better. But Steph Curry came in and changed the whole dynamic because everybody wants to shoot where Steph shoots. Everybody wants to shoot at half court, and they can't do it.
Yeah,
so it's a totally different game. It's boring. See, JJ, I'll leave you guys with this. But see, JJ, this is why I like your Nuggets. Joker, man. Basic, great basketball. Old school, man. You don't see guys.
What I'm left with is Kenny Thomas likes your Nuggets. That's what I'm taking into the weekend. Listen to Kenny Thomas. You get nuggets like that every night after Louisville basketball over on News Radio KKOB. Kenny with Brandon Ortega. It's Louisville Live with Kenny Thomas. You can call in after Louisville basketball. Do it tomorrow night, Lobos and Utah State, and then talk about it with Kenny after the game and after every game. A great weekend, Kenny Thomas. Good to see you.
Man, I appreciate you guys. And out there, just to let you know, follow me on my social media, Kenny Thomas NBA. I have a partnership with the county. We're doing some social media stuff and bringing awareness to some of their programming. And I have a partnership with the Department of Health. So same thing. Check out my platform. Yeah. Resources and tools for the community that we're sharing.
Follow him there. Donovan Dent is next, the Lobo guard who should be the player of the year in this league.
Man, you cutting me short.
No, man, I'm cutting you. Look right at the number.
That's
right, like literally right on the number.
It's okay. It's Donnie.
And you would cut me short.
I had to get you back for the Nuggets.
And you would cut me short too. Hey, Valentine's Day is around the corner. You're planning on taking that special someone out. That means you better make sure your car is in tip-top shape. And if your car is in need of a life-saving cleanup, you better reach out to my friends at On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They go above and beyond to make sure your car looks, smells, and feels brand new. And since you are probably busy making arrangements, they'll make it easy for you. They come to you, so you don't have to leave the comfort of your home or office. Awarded best in the city because they are best in the city. Have On the Spot come out and detail your vehicle. They are the best. Your car will look, feel, smell like the day you took it off the lot. Protect your investment. It's one of your biggest investments. Call On the Spot Automotive Detailing today or just go online and book and buy there. It's all at otsdetailing.com. otsdetailing.com. You're welcome.
Call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like and shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grand.
10-0 would, or 10-1 would be the best ever Mountain West start for the Lobos. They were 9-1 and 13-14. Lots going on this weekend. Elsewhere around the league, Fresno State will be at Boise State, Air Force at San Jose State, Wyoming at San Diego State, UNLV at Nevada. What happened in Nevada, dude? They can't score.
Just not good.
You know, and they were in here, and you saw a Nevada team that was, to push the Lobos right down to the wire. And of course, that was that Nelly Jr. Joseph bucket. And they won, but they've been struggling since. All right, come up in a little bit. This is this is a terrific one tomorrow. Tomorrow in Logan, and it's over on News Radio KKOB. I will be up there with Hunter, 7 o'clock pregame, 7:30 tip. Will be on FS1 as well. For the first time in the history of the Mountain West, two teams at 9-1 or better get to go at each other. They're not giving out trophies and hats and T-shirts tomorrow, but it's a big one. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck, we welcome to the show the reigning Mountain West Conference Player of the Week. He's been that a number of times. Donovan Dent joins us this morning on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Donovan. How you living?
Good morning. I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Life's grooving, man. Thanks for taking some time before. I know it's a busy day. Hey, this is big, and I don't want to overblow it, but I don't want to undersell this game either.